He snuck in. Very, very sneaky, Zaxx. Very, very sneaky. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Diabolical Wednesdays. And we're doing Star Wars, and we're doing Genndy's Tartakovsky's Micro Clone Wars. And this is going to be a great conversation piece because I forgot about this series, and I've seen snippets of it here and there and never really followed it. But watching it over, it's just like, why didn't they do this to start with? And I'm like asking a lot of questions, and I got the panel here, and we're gonna like hopefully get some answers for everyone. But before we do that, if you guys could hit that like button, if you guys could leave a comment, subscribe to everyone on this panel, it'd be greatly appreciated, and also hit that little notification bell whenever I get on. There you go, Badger. And Badger, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling?
I'm fantastic. This is the reason we're all here. Is I wanted to talk about Volume 1 selfishly.
Yeah, I know.
And like all of my selfish decisions, it'll probably end up being fun for everyone. Hopefully.
And I said, well, let's do the whole thing. And then he said, well, let's do it. And I'm like, all right, let's we're doing the Thelma Louise.
We got out of bed and we put our clothes on and
yes. Leon, what's up, buddy? How you feeling? You ready to do this tonight?
I am feeling fantastic. I'm feeling great. I cannot wait to do this. I remember this show so fondly, not just the show, but the marketing and advertising campaign that came with it. I mean, I had all the toys from this era. Like they made special toys specifically for the show that looked different, but there's so much love just coming off every frame of this. I cannot wait to talk about. So yeah, thank you. Excellent idea, Badger. I don't give you a lot of credit for very obvious reasons, but this was a good one.
Yes.
And of course, Wyatt, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling? From down
doing
under.
good, feeling great here in Australia. I had no idea what I was walking into watching this. Obviously, Genndy Tartakovsky is a fantastic artist, and everything he's done in the past has been phenomenal. But I didn't know what to expect, and I saw the Volume 1, and I was just completely blown away. I'm really excited to get into this.
Yeah, it's. We're reviewing Primal, and it's like and we're gushing all over that, but looking at this, it's amazing. And of course Erwin's got to be here to review it with us. What's going on, Erwin?
Huge Star Wars fan, happy to be here. What I came here to talk about is, wait, Van Damme is in the Street Fighter movie?
Yes.
Okay, because
I know that
I added it in Mortal Kombat to my list recently, and I'm feeling pretty good about that choice now.
You got to also double feature it
on your intro, Gooch. When it says Gooch and then it says "and gang," the way that the "and gang" animation comes up, I feel like I got a strike in bowling. Good to be here, Gooch. Thanks for having me.
We call that a turkey. Zaxx, my brother from the Winnipegger. What's up?
I'm so glad I watched this movie. Because I watched it way back in the day, probably broken up, because I think they were super short episodes.
Yes.
But holy shit, this is good. I loved that first volume, and I don't remember liking it even at all back in the day. But you're kind of like stuck in the bitterness of what's happening with the prequels at that point. And this is so much. This does so much heavy lifting. For Revenge of the Sith for me, with some of the stuff with Anakin's character that they really hit on with this without actually having to say much about it, just showing us what he's doing, what he's going through, that he's by himself a lot, he's isolated, and that's all character stuff that I got from this that I don't remember getting from the prequels. And the action really, really made the Jedis look cool again.
Well, no. Before we move on, I just wanted to mention, because he mentioned you did see them broken up, because originally the reason they're called the Micro Clone Wars is because they were in between other shows on Cartoon Network. This was Leon and I were eating good. If you like the prequels, which I think we did, I mean, he had his issues with Attack of the Clones because he loves Jango Fett maybe a bit too much, but that's all right. Other than that, we love the prequels, so we were eating good, and this was just more story of right after Attack of the Clones, right? Go ahead, Leon.
Since you brought up Jango Fett, by the way, compare this to the CGI Clone Wars. The clones actually feel like Jango in this, by the way. They move like Jango. They got this swagger like Jango that you don't get in that dumbass Filoni show, but I digress. I know we got other stuff to talk about.
They're military. You see them do hand signals, and they're like, they're military driven.
Pistols like Jango does.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, when they're doing the hand signals, that's when I wondered if my audio was broken.
They're so competent in this, which is so refreshing. And what surprised me most was that the droids were also quite competent. The first attack that they do on one of the ships landing, I was just like, holy shit, they're not like retarded like they are in the films. They actually have
Yeah.
And yeah,
I do in Picard over Kirk.
What's up, Justin? Thanks for joining us.
That's-
That's here. Mama Gooch.
Hi,
What's up,
Mom.
Mama? What's going on?
Hey.
The
What?
Joker say, "What's up, Joker? Thanks for joining us." CFH. Unfortunately, I have some trouble I have to attend to, so I'm gonna miss the stream. I'll catch it later though.
Very deep.
Clone Wars bike, and then he gifted a membership. Thank you, a Gucci Gang membership. Thank you, there, CFH. Appreciate that, brother. Once you said that someone showed up and my plaque, what the fuck? And what? Okay. All right.
Show up in my place.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jacob's here. Werwin's here. Black Lives or Black Scamps. Welcome. Eraserhead, the OG. What's up? Quickly going down. Anthony's here. Star Wars Marvel purist. He just gave me something to show to you guys, and we're going to go over it quickly before we get into the series here. And thank you for that, Marvel Star Wars or Star Wars Marvel purist. Ghost MKC. Why Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars is the best Star Wars until the CGI series.
Yeah,
CGI
except
series.
CGI series doesn't really get good until like the 4th season, and it's fucking super hit or miss, and it did more damage to the lore with the son, the father, and all that dumb shit than Metachlorians ever did. That actually, anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Maybe if you ever punish
so
us.
dirty to me right there.
Yeah, no, I'll talk. Get the mop, baby girl, because it's about to get real wet in here.
We're going to get to this, but yeah, let's never for $5 a day or
Yes.
so. Let's never forget General Grievous has more terrifying.
Yeah.
He was more terrifying in this animation. Yes.
He is just way more intimidating.
Way
Yes.
taller, right? Okay, I was
Yeah.
like,
His
I don't
power's
remember
better,
him
yeah.
being that. Okay, he starts fighting when he's staying on like one arm, doing like the 3.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
I quickly want to bring up that Star Wars Marvel purist sent me here, and this basically talks about what we could have had if Tartakovsky had the lead for Star Wars, and it's like, it upsets me even more to think that like we could have had, and in the end they talked about how it went down to the last minute, and you just wanted to do a TV series. You didn't want to do a feature film because Lucas is, George Lucas. And he asked, so the movie you were developing with Lucasfilm before he said it was all Star Wars all the time, do you own the rights to that? Or is that in a Lucasfilm vault somewhere? And he goes, Genndy Tartakovsky says, no, it's still mine. It was a Viking themed thing before How to Train Your Dragon. Some of the ideas got transferred into Primal and a few little ones. So we could have had some freaking amazing storytelling for Star Wars. It would have.
It would have changed a lot of things. And I would say what Star Wars Marvel purist says down there is why, like the Ryan from RK Outpost, while they'll accept, even he was on his way out because it, like the Clone Wars in one move just threw out all the expanded universe, just decimated. Cried out in silence.
To be fair, Clone Wars isn't actually a bad show. If I'm being honest, it's just like the Clone Wars. It just decimates Star Wars lore in a way that is irredeemable, in my opinion. But it's actually fun as its own singular thing. I don't hate most of it.
Right, that's great. But obviously, we're
people-
here to love the micro version.
Didn't you guys?
Annie, the best part of Clone Wars, right? You guys love that shit. Ahsoka, baby.
Well, you all hated Ahsoka for like the first few seasons, right?
Snip.
Like the fans didn't like her.
Bye,
I thought.
guy.
I was in the minority. I actually still love Ahsoka.
Yes.
I
So hot.
hate Ahsoka.
So great. Not creepy at all with that fucking halter top and he's how old? It's
The
fine.
Lolita Jedi. What's the
fine.
problem, Badger? I don't see the problem.
No, I don't see the problem.
Out of the
Cowboy
way,
hat.
Sky Guy. It's my time.
But this is the good stuff. Remember for those that loved it, the hype of the Clone Wars have started. Anakin lost a hand. Dooku's out there, and this is like wide from games to comics. It was all about the Clone Wars.
So Badger, I gotta ask you because and maybe Zaxx as well because I know you guys watched it like when this was airing. Was the art style, not the animation, but the art style jarring and worrying at first? Because I don't remember the commercials before the show actually came out, and I was like, I don't know if I like this, but obviously you see it, your mind changes.
Spoiler, and I'm going to tell you something that I'm going to tap into myself at the time because I remember what I thought, and I probably still think I don't really give a fuck about Samurai Jack or any of those other things. So hearing that he was coming in meant nothing to me. I was very worried this animation would be real and how you could translate lightsaber. I was wrong on every count. Obviously, it's spectacular. It's great. So it proved it had no like juice with me going in. It's quite the opposite. And yeah, I loved it. In fact, I worried like how you would translate the seriousness of stuff. And like the Asajj Ventress Anakin fight has like the most weight of almost some of the movie trilogies. So.
I would argue this is more serious than anything Disney's done except for Andor in terms of tone.
Yeah. So this made me like and respect Genndy, not anything else.
I like the art style. I was fine with it. I'm not an animation expert like some of you guys are. So it was fun to look at. It was all right. And what I thought they did a good job of was, even though it was, I guess not the most defined, but I like the facial expressions. You could really read a lot off that. And
that's what he's great at. That's what he's great at, Zaxx. Like he's very good at drawing out emotion. It's very simple. It's 2D animation, but he's very good at drawing an emotion, especially with the eyes. Like even like when, well, we'll get into it, but like some of like with Anakin, like you see a lot of facial expressions with him throughout the series that you're just like, oh, I see where, you know, you start to see him turn a little bit. The emotions are there.
His body language is there too. Like they put time into that stuff. So
they put it was a passion project, right? Like Tartakovsky says, like he was excited, he was ready to move and be a part of this. Like, and it was all kibosh just to be a TV series, which he's already established with, you know, Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory. There was one more in there. I can't remember the other one, but this character here, I was just going to ask.
Sahi 10. I got a weird pronunciation, but yeah, he's like a Jedi Council member. Yeah, it shows how he loses that in a fucking comic. So they're referencing the Dark Horse. That was the other reason. The Clone Wars was already being established, and highly so in the Dark Horse comics, and the CGI stuff overrode a lot of it, while this worked in conjunction. So it was the start of the overriding when before they used to try and make everything work together. It's the Battle of Jahim. This is a super long comp from the Dark Horse comics where Anakin and Kenobi are stuck behind enemy lines for like months. Like it's a super hardcore trench warfare story. And if you know, you know. So you see this flash to it.
For me, the clones are kick-ass in this series. Yep. Like it makes me want to buy the figurines when you see this, because it's like they look military, they feel military, like the way they fire their weapons is freaking cool as hell.
DC-15s are so badass too.
They're cannon fodder, but you actually kind of care about them. Cannon fodder.
Yeah, they're the most competent cannon fodder you're gonna get. And yeah, people will start. This is where like maybe they'll say the force powers are OP. I would suggest to you that George made the movies in the 70s, and he made the early ones in the like late 90s, where it was the start of all of his CG. And had he had this ability, they would be doing things like this in the movies.
Is this the part when he just
described in the books,
right? Yeah. When he just goes in and that just was like my thought was
them all away.
Why? Yeah, you don't just go brain squashed, aneurysm, just separate your head from your shoulders. Okay. Yeah. Oh, these sleeves, bro.
Yeah.
Whoever the Foley artist is that puts in the sound effects, yes, they were very good.
Senator Palpatine. Yeah, and he's like telling because obviously he's off fighting another battle on I forget what planet.
Look at the face though. Look at Kenobi's like. You really get what's going on. You get the idea that Anakin, this is the dynamic, right? Anakin is competent and he probably maybe should be in charge, but he's never really gets a chance to authentically be tested because they hold him back. And it's only through Palpatine's manipulations and machinations that he gets anything. But that is building a resentment between the council and the
Obi-Wan tells him like your skills were never in doubt. It's your maturity. It's your temperament that we have an issue with.
But this is a case of it expanding that Obi-Wan was wrong, because we don't actually see a lot of it in the live action films. Obi-Wan, again, back to being the big brother as opposed to father, never gave him a chance to build that maturity because he was always too busy assuming he was too immature. Like I'm an Obi-Wan fan through and through, and I hated watching this scene. I mean, I hate it in a good way because it impacted me emotionally. I'm like, Obi-Wan, just give him the fucking chance.
It's the right thing from the wrong person. It's the respect with the chance to prove himself, but it's from the devil. He should be getting this from Obi-Wan, and instead he's getting the disapproving brother who never really has faith in him because he never gives him a chance to rise above it. And then Yoda's just like, this motherfucker usurped my authority again.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I forgot how much I love Yoda in this because I won't lie, I do not like prequel trilogy Yoda. Prequel trilogy Yoda is a dipshit, even in the movies. I got some anti-Yoda rhetoric that would make me come off sounding like Kamala Harris to Trump if I was going to be real. But in this show, dude, Yoda's peak. He reminds me of Puppet Yoda.
Obi-Wan is peaking this. Like because like in the prior two, because in the prior two films, he's kind of like obviously in Phantom, he's the Padawan, and then the second one, he's kind of he's there, but he's not there. Yeah,
he never really got his chance to establish an identity. Yeah, because he immediately had to take care of a fucking Padawan.
Yeah, like this is just like great for like if you're a Star Wars nut, you get to see. And I'm sorry, but the Starfleet, and when you see Anakin's starship, like it's unbelievable. Yeah, like I love this ship. This is like
back on this. I was so annoyed R2 wasn't in there. I'm like, no, the red R4s, Obi-Wan's. R2 always goes with Anakin.
Obviously we see well in the volume 2 you see why whatever, I'm fine with it. Yeah, his custom Jedi interceptor that of course he modded it because of course he did.
It kind of looks like his pod racer.
He gave his pod racer colors and he put the
Also, the goodbye to Padme here, like when it lifts up and like she's at the again. Yeah, that's great emotion. Like Star Wars can do romance because in this few frames of this sad goodbye, her being like, my husband is a warrior. I don't know if he's gonna come home. I
hope
he
fucked her good. Presumably he did. Well, I guess it's a couple years into it's like a year or two in before he does that.
It's hinting at their relationship without being too forthcoming. Yeah, so like we go on the awkward romance. There's no trade disputes, endless council meetings. This is just pure unadulterated storytelling through movement and action.
So the music switch here, and then this is the introduction. I think the first time we ever saw really Republic Commando. They're called ARC troopers, but directly trained by Jango Fett.
Yep.
Some of them have colors now. I care about them.
Yeah. So like, yes,
it's true.
So, and I'll leave this to you guys because the difference between the blue compared to the red, and I think
like
there's
lieutenants and captain.
And then there's a yellow one.
Sergeant.
They sort of changed that throughout. And Badger, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but like originally it was to denote their ranking, and then later on that canon sort of shifted to denote whose command they were under, what section of who their Jedi commander was. Obi-Wan had yellow, Anakin had blue, so on and so forth. But I don't know when that change happened. So.
Oh, I don't. The only one I know about is their fleet designation. Like Obi-Wan has the Broken Circle fleet, which is why it's that circle with the. But no, I still thought color was rank. I don't fucking know, but I would hazard on it being a rank designation over a.
Well, at the time this came out, that's what it was. I'm just saying it did get changed later, but I don't know when that change happened. So I don't know if it was a Lucas change or a Disney change.
This might be like Star Trek, the original series, where it meant one thing, and then if you switch, red is no longer command, or the reverse, gold's no longer command, it's engineering.
Yeah, this is that conversation the two have where, Obi-Wan lays it down to
always
Anakin
working.
saying, you're always technically you're above and beyond everyone else. It's your maturity. I think Nia, you touched on that. He's still too immature with his thoughts. He lets his emotions get the best of him, and
he's not wrong because we see what happens later on when he's given an order. He ignores it and he goes on impulse rather than thinking about the consequences of abandoning.
But did he make the right choice?
He did. The chase scene was awesome.
Master, I would say I went with the will of the Force.
Oh, I have an important Star Wars question. So these are like lasers in space, and they shoot like several thousand lasers per second or so. If that doesn't hit something, does it just travel and
just go forever
until it hits?
Newton's law of something in motion, same motion until acted on by enough.
That makes that so much more fudged up.
Yeah, there's a great in Mass Effect. There's a great thing if you walk by. There's a drill sergeant yelling at his cadets about shooting. That like basically you have a weapon.
It's like shooting in the air.
So whatever you're shooting at, it'll hit like the planet behind it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, blue. Yes, was 100%.
I would think they would fade out over time, right? They would just kind of evaporate. Like they would just
once they start switching to stormtroopers and recruiting people, but then the clones went to being like. Training and shit like that, and officers and other things till being phased out. I don't think they were homeless on the street though. Kenobi.
The war scenes are just amazing. Also touching on the storyline, the group that you saw there, the clone troopers, they were told to I guess they're a scout team. So they're once they get into down on closer to the planet here, they go take a different route, and the fight happens, and they're kind of like doing a side mission.
I think they're there
to and guns.
Yeah, they're there to disable the main cannon. That's their mission.
I love it. This is like the banking clan, so it's all regal, like banking columns.
Oh, I wanted to get to a scene here because like Erwin brought it up. This with the sound. I thought the sound for this series was top notch, but it's this part right here with this droid where he's running up the stairs. Is that where you were talking about, Erwin?
There's just a couple times there, when they're doing the sound and the music, it's great. But there's sometimes where they kind of forget the sounds or the music.
And you hear the clanking of him running up the stairs.
I sort of like it was like stealth, right? It's they go quiet.
But normally, if they were dialogue, you wouldn't notice it as much. But if something like this, you definitely notice it when it's so visual, but it's also led by the audio as well.
I think the absence of music is deliberate, though, because it allows you to focus on the intensity of what's going on.
And then the violence, right, of the counterattack with all the blasters very loud. I love the fucking...
Speaking of the violence, sorry, go for it. My bad.
What I'm referencing is I believe it's an Anakin like actual fight, dog fight through the city.
Anakin and Asajj.
And so it has all that, but then there's like no chase music for some reason.
But just with this fight scene, I just loved how competent the droids were. One of the things that always annoyed me about the first two films was just the droids were just fodder. Like they didn't really think very well. They're very stupid. But here you see one approach, knock these guys to the ground with a rocket launcher. You see others approaching with a sniper rifle, actually taking out stormtroopers. And at the same time, the troopers are just as competent, if not more so, because they use tactics, strategy to be able to overcome the situation that they're in. I loved it. I thought it was great.
And since then, they've gone hard in the other direction because the stormtroopers always suck and the droids are stupid and there's no threat ever. And even though you know who's going to live because you've seen the movies after, but there's tension in the fight scenes that there's not in most other Star Wars.
Well, even this previous scene where like you're sitting here and I think there's no sound here, and all you hear is
this reminds me of a World War II game. Well, all of a sudden you hear the metal come and it's a fucking armored tank. Yeah, it might as well have been a squad. Yeah, but it's this. That is correct.
It intensifies the scene, and then next you know they're firing upon the.
I think I mean I was fine with him doing that, but I think he did it for like 7 seconds or something like that. He just needed to do it for like 3 seconds. It dragged on a little too like weirdly long.
Is there people who say this looks dated? Is that an issue?
I think it looks fine.
I've never heard anyone make that statement. I mean, maybe they. I've never heard it. No,
it doesn't to me at all. So
no,
not to me. I mean, either. Go ahead,
Gooch. I was just going to say the style caught me off guard because I didn't know what to expect. In the first 2-3 minutes, I had to adjust, but once I got used to it, I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's definitely engaging. You're definitely in it. That part's nice, and even without the dialogue. But I'm the sort of person who hates silent protagonists so much it makes me angry.
You should have film noir.
You absolutely would be. You ADHD motherfucker.
I love the look of this clone trooper here, man. Like,
it's bulletproof, or it's blaster. Someone fucking in the chat, plasma, not a laser. Okay, well, first of all, they were shooting the beams are lasers, but also in this, it's plasma, Tabana gas. But yeah, it's blaster proof, plasma proof. That's why they wear them. Stop the back of their legs from getting shot.
The choreography specifically for that red clone trooper for a solid like 30 seconds of a 3-minute episode. He gets like that. He basically gets 1/60 episode just to do ridiculously cool cowboy shit.
Yep.
It was so awesome.
This is Tartakovsky. He's so good at like the flow of the scenes. Like he his camera angles, his visuals, the color tones. Like this is like set in a very gray setting because it's an intense scene. And then we'll get to it later, where you see what's his name, Dirge, and everyone else get into everything becomes
baby.
a little yellow and red because it intensifies. He's a master, like bringing out those color palettes and just putting them in the right spots.
And if you guys didn't tell me, I would have no idea that this was cut into micro episodes. There are not, like, even though there are like breaks and it changes, like it's so smooth. If I didn't know, I would just assume this was one thing.
Let me tell you, Erwin, the very first time in my life I ever experienced blue balls, when I was too young to even know what that was waiting every week for the next micro episode. It was 3 minutes of release and then another week without it. It's kind of like my adult life now. So
can't explain how hyped people that were super hyped for the prequels and Star Wars at this time, how much it was. Like anything Star Wars was like, what? Y'all got any more of that in Star Wars? And so it was great.
Did each micro episode have a credits at the very end?
Yeah, it would open with the blurry, like it was just coming into the being broadcast from a galaxy far, far away. Well, and then it would go cold exit to whatever.
All of that's been cut out except for the very end, which is why it flows so smoothly throughout.
Yeah. So, girl.
Thank you, Jen.
Shit.
I could be wrong. I'm also pretty sure if you buy this on DVD, because you can buy volume 1 and 2 together as one pack, and it has the option to play straight through. You can choose the individual micro episodes, or you can just do like marathon mode, which does the same thing as what you got here on YouTube.
Well, obviously that's the way we all watched it because no one has Disney Plus because we've canceled it all the times that GraphWave has.
I didn't even know this was on Disney Plus. I don't even shit it's on Disney Plus. So
yes, we're using YouTube for this. Yes, absolutely.
I actually did.
I use Wicked.com.
By the way, I straight up, it's on YouTube unedited.
The first season has been up for a long time now. So
yeah.
What did you use, Erwin?
Wicked.com. You can see videos of that dude with the balls on the back of his head. They got stuff like that on there.
I don't know why.
Yeah. The Caligaries.
Admiral Akbar's species.
Wait, hold on. What did you call them?
Caligaries?
Did you call them Caligaries?
I even know they're Mon Calamari.
I heard Calgary. So
isn't that the planet that they're on, Calgary?
No, they're on the planet Mon Cal, of which there's two species, the Quarrens and the Mon Calamari.
So they are calamari. I thought they said Caligari.
No, calamari. Yeah, it's a little on the nose because I know calamari means squid and is a squid. Yes. I always thought that was, but hey, George.
This dude,
Kit Fisto.
This dude has like tentacles, right? But they kind of turned him into dreads, like that.
Nautilin.
Yeah,
he's a Nautilin.
Like the Joker, like when they changed the Joker to give him the weird dreads. That's what it kind of.
By the way, he and Ayla Secura, actually,
because
they have Laku. Oh, sorry. They're friends. Sorry. They're really good roommates. Friends that totally just meditate together. Yeah, a lot. And they're sweating when they're done. Thank you.
Thank you, Racerhead. It was in action.
But this is my favorite episode of this entire micro series. Because Kit Fisto is my favorite Jedi Master besides like Obi-Wan. And
his lightsaber set to work underwater, by the way. Before anyone asks.
This is everything I want out of Kit Fisto, baby.
But look at the troopers in the back.
Sorry, not.
No, that's okay. My bad. I was going to say what I appreciated about this series is that each of the Jedi are amazing in their own right. We get to see them do some pretty insane stuff that we've never seen them do in live action. But we get to see a different aspect of how they utilize the Force. So, like with Fisto, when he's underwater and that massive tank approaches,
water Kamehameha
air bubble.
The Kamehameha to disable the legs. I love that. Obviously, we see Mace Windu use his fists later on. Just amazing.
I'm fine with all of this, by the way. Honestly, people just don't have fucking imagination when using the Force. This is all possible. Mm-hmm. We see it in games in this. That's why it's disappointing when people are like, we're doing the movie. It's like, because they didn't think of it.
Space magic should be OP. It's space magic.
Absolutely.
Yes. And yes, this all get the fuck out. Just mass push everyone. Yeah, that's all what you would be doing.
You gotta remember, he is a sitting Jedi Council member. He is one of the most powerful Jedi in the Order right now. These fucking underwater little boats, they don't got shit on the power of the Force, especially wielded by Kit Fisto.
They're little seaman mounts.
I think what surprised me about this show is how the style is very minimalist, but it's still quite powerful. Like you won't find a lot of extra detail cluttering up the screen. I think Tartakovsky strips it back to the essentials. You've got the bold lines, sharp angles, and just enough detail to convey the intensity and movement without without really getting bogged down in little bits and bobs. And yeah, I really loved it.
Well, for me, Tartakovsky does this thing that, at least this is my view of him, and Gooch, you're the big fan, so you can tell me whether I'm wrong on this or not. But like, you'll see shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender or whatever that copy that sort of Eastern anime flair, and you got somebody like Tartakovsky who's like, okay, I see the appeal of the way they move and whatnot, but I'm still gonna put my Western, I'm not copying the East. I'm putting a Western, truly Western spin on good ideas from Eastern animation.
Wait, wait, we are not skipping past the giant crab cannon, Gooch. Come on. Badger, is that canon? Oh, wait, pun intended.
No, that was perfect.
Yes, it's canon.
It is?
I don't know. It's a big fucking cat. I don't see a problem with this.
All right, just checking.
The thing with Tartakovsky is that, and we mentioned this last night, there's a lot of weight in his animation. Like, you feel like you're part of this world. Like, you are engaged in it, and you're you're almost transformed into that world. Like, you feel a part of it, like just based on the color palettes alone and the way that word. But the way he animates it, like the way they shoot, their arms like move. It's not just like stiff and they're firing cannon. They're actually like, you could feel the cannons.
You see recoil,
all that kind of stuff. Like those, like that makes it a little more believable, even though it's an animation. Even the swimming with this, you could feel them swimming through the water. Like, you could feel the dense atmosphere and how they move about in the water. It's not just like
Fisto had to rear back. Like, he's an aquatic Jedi, but like when that cannon was coming at him, you saw him like go back and then start going forward. And it's actually really akin to Tom and Jerry. If you think you think about all the like weight in that, every time you get hit by a frying pan, his head will go like forward then outward, and like he's like, damn, that hurts, poor cat. It's very similar.
Yep.
How would you say it compares to Velma?
Yes. No, pause it. Yeah. We need to discuss this, Badger. Badger, defend your IP. Defend your IP.
They fill with gases, depending on if they're underwater or above the surface. Leave their ball sacks alone. It's very rude of you to point out their back of the head ball sacks.
What's up,
woke? You see their gooch right in between it?
Woke.
Yeah. And I'm gonna want rights to all the royalties that are being not sent my way for this.
Got your royalties right here, pal.
Yeah. But yeah, like excellent animation, like the line work, everything about it just feels great. Like see, like excellent animation.
He summons the power.
Like all the Jedi are like built like Giga Chads. I like that part in this art style.
What do they spend their time like working out and meditating and working out? They're like they are Shaolin monks. You ever seen a Shaolin monk without his shirt off? You're like, oh, monk. Wow.
This is one of the problems with the Acolyte, because the Jedi are supposed to be in peak physical and mental conditioning, and we've got the overweight Jedi.
No. Look, Nyat, don't you understand that he got a little lax in his discipline when he was out there on the outpost and he ate all the resources himself?
There is no excuse to be overweight.
There's really no excuse. Yeah, I know.
But again, I go back to the color scheme. Like, this is like, you could, if you didn't know this was a Star Wars animation, you would think, oh, this is kind of like a World War II kind of looking animation because of the color tones. You think like just the way that it's all played out here. It's like, that's how great he is with his color schemes and his layouts. Okay, all right.
Sorry, chat.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, the colors are a little muted. It's nice and comfy. I've been wanting to compare his art style. Reminds me of like the Loeb and Sale Batman books. I don't necessarily love Tim Sale's art style. It's not my favorite. It is a little its own thing, but he's really, really good at telling like Jeff Loeb's story. It's not my favorite art, but he tells a story very well. And Tartakovsky is fantastic at telling a story.
By the way, that's what Darth Plagueis would have looked like. He's that species, Munilist. There's Dirge, their bounty hunter, a Genndy or Genndy.
So we're gonna learn about Dirge in this episode, like, and you, because I asked who this guy was when I was watching this the first time. This guy, like, how did he come about? Like, how is he? Is he a bounty hunter? Is he a Jedi? Is he a Sith? Like,
he's Lobo.
he is the same race as General Grievous, but he had some sort of accident that basically left his body. Isn't that what he left his body?
No, fool.
Yeah.
He's a Genndy. He's a completely different species. He's the same one as the villain from Jedi Survivor, where they're like a bunch of fucking, go look him up, where they're like a symbiotic species put together. No, General Grievous that's General Grievous's backstory, where Sidious orchestrated a plot to take a general and turn him into the more machine than man. Anyway, basically he can't be killed conventionally because he could just keep regrowing. That's his species. That's
okay, you're right. I flipped their backstories. My bad.
I know you did.
What a great antagonist to have,
because it cancels
Obi-one.
It cancels out a lot of the things where like your lightsaber is sort of nullified by the fact that he can just regenerate.
Exactly, and it adds a bit of dynamism because we've already seen Jedi versus Sith, so it's interesting to see the dichotomy between this guy, his regenerative powers, and combat with Obi-Wan.
This is obviously novel as fuck, the whole pike on the things, but it's like horses and cavalry. I like it. I don't care. Yeah, Kalish.
I thought it was phenomenal, and the way they utilized the cavalry was great. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever played Total War. One of the best things about that is, like, obviously artillery versus infantry, they're going to demolish them. But if you've got like 20 units of cavalry, you come in from the right angle, you can demolish the artillery. And
they're like hypersonic, like the things that the not Republic Guards, but like the Crimson Guards have, those pikes. So like, vibrates at a super high frequency. So yeah, it probably really messes you up.
So Tartakovsky, in all of his battles, like most people, especially with animation that takes so long, it's like, all right, let's have like 5 or 6 stormtroopers, or let's have like 6 people on the bikes around him. Now Tartakovsky, let's have like 20. When we have the ships coming in, let's have like 100 flying. Like, yeah, like this. He's like, let's have all of them. Yes, and it feels like it.
Player plus, yeah,
yes,
and it should.
It feels like it.
These 3-minute episodes probably took like 3 months a piece to make.
Oh, yeah. Dirge is from the Dark Horse. That's why people got pissed off. Like, that's all from the Dark Horse comics, all his main backstory and shit. That's why it's so cool that they used him.
Are these like an IG-88 kind of? Yeah.
Just like the top of the line.
Into like they say, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, and these dudes are going straight up. Like, let's just joust into all these lasers.
I love this part. Sorry, go ahead, Nia. Sorry.
No, they come at them from the side as well. They don't just go straight into the lasers. So it's very strategic.
Oh, that thing has nipples? I did not notice that when I watched it.
I'm actually noticing. Those might be bolts. Those are restraining bolts. Let's hope.
Yeah.
This is pre-Disney changing significant amounts of canon. By that I mean Felonious. Asajj Ventress was originally from a very warlike planet, Rakata, whatever the fuck it is, and she's basically whatever the planet is. She found a Jedi founder, and like ends up sort of taking her under his wing. He dies. She keeps the lightsaber. Ratatak, thank you, Jesus. I was trying to think of the planet. Rakata is something else. So she's not at this point Dathomirian. She's in a completely separate species and was trained by a Jedi. She has the sabers from him.
So Dooku is my best example of how Giga Chad all the characters are, because he has such a Giga Chad chin that his beard comes to like the most Giga. There's one shot where literally you see like the angle and then it goes like perfectly to that point. It's like the most Giga Chad shot in the whole thing. Loved it.
Thank you, Star Wars Marvel Pure. Ratatak. So that's the one where like the planet, the Jedi crashes there, finds her, realizes she's force sensitive. Things are going well. Because she's not evil at the heart. She's just in a horrible post-apocalyptic fucked up planet. And then when he dies, she sort of goes a little dark sidey. Yeah.
Smidge.
Question for you, Jenna says, where do you store all this knowledge when you
It's what he replaced like math and stuff with.
Yeah.
No, I do not know my times tables, but on like the 2s, 5s, and stuff. You're not incorrect.
Cross multiplying, most complex math you'll ever need to do.
Yeah, you only got so much room, so I'm sorry. Worth it. I got a calculator.
The amount of characters, the amount of different alien races and whatnot, like for my ADHD brain, I was very happy with that. Speaking, it's diverse.
The Star Wars universe feels huge, right? It's back to the multiple planets, the different races, the
Force
different
camouflage.
Equipment. Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Niet. Sorry.
No, I was just saying the Star Wars universe feels huge. Like in Attack of the Clones, we just got that conflict between the Jedi and the droids, Dooku's droids on what planet was it again?
Rat Attack. Which one are you talking about?
In Attack of the Clones, like
Geonosis.
Geonosis,
yeah,
yeah. So we only see that planet. We see Naboo, we see Coruscant. We don't see anything else, and we see a little bit of Tatooine, I guess. But here, the universe feels large. It feels lived in.
And by the way, she
This show accomplishes something that, in my opinion, only the video games have also accomplished. Like, you got Knights of the Old Republic and doing that and making it feel like an expansive galaxy.
Yeah.
And then this is the only like non-interactive medium that's been able to do that, in my opinion. Is this micro series?
You keep wanting to see what happens next. He does a good job because it keeps going. Yeah, look at these teeth, the next monster and whatnot. Yeah,
I love her use of the Force. Very inventive.
Is this so? That's she's part of lore, eh?
Yeah, she was.
And
I mean, still is, but Filoni likes to do this thing where he takes characters that have died and brings them back and then makes them good guys because girls can't be bad guys. And like
one of those things where she's so a different character. I do love when he's like, you look like a Sith, you wear the trappings of the Sith. This can be imitated, however. And yeah, to show the skeleton.
Oh, yeah.
She's
that wouldn't have happened in modern day Clone Wars, let me tell you. He just straight up 1,000 volts to the dome. It was great.
And I love the pan back and Sidious is watching in the background on his little holographic.
Yeah. Well, this would be Dooku slipping on a banana peel, and that would be the end of the fight.
Look at how easily he can disarm her. This is how it should have been, right? How easily. This is what the Rey fight would have ended like. Just no.
Well, I like on touching on what Niet said. Like when I watched this, I felt like, yeah, there's a galaxy war happening. Like they talk about it in the movies, but you feel it in these episodes. Like you got Mace Windu doing battles, you got the other Jedi going on having battles on other planets. You have, you're having a tournament of champions to find out who could be the next Sith, apprentice. Like there's a lot going on, but it all ties together nicely. You don't see that with the live action. It's kind of I don't know, like something about the sequels or the prequels, sorry, that just fail on that. Like they focus on like the wrong things at the wrong moments or wrong time.
Prequels are a bit too much space opera, like politics for my taste, and this is all just like bam, bam, lightsaber, bang, 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 bang,
yeah,
PQ.
But there's a story there.
He knew that all the small tales would be told, and that the movies were for the smaller, more Shakespearean tragedy of Anakin. His words, more or less.
And then the greatest gift, he bequeaths her with 2 lightsabers that are built like fencing blades, which is so out of character for Dooku because
I know
he loathes two-hand lightsaber.
I feel like Sidious made him do it.
Is that why it is? Because I feel like
Sidious made him do it. Yeah,
she's a disposable acolyte. Let her use whatever shit she wants.
He said it just like that.
Why spider legs instead of hover thing?
Spider legs are badass.
Okay, because look cool. Agreed.
It gives a creep factor. It gives a creep factor. Yeah, creep factor.
Yeah, and so this is also why I suggest that, because a lot of people say that no, he doesn't look all messed up like he does after and blah blah blah. No, he revealed it intentionally because even if you look behind the scenes, he's always got fucked up fingernails and his teeth are all messed up. And even if you don't show the skin is bad, he's definitely using some sort of Force Sith sorcery to conceal the damage the dark side's done.
Literally using in this episode because she takes on the form of that other dude.
And that is just, of course, like a Force illusion thing that anyone, not necessarily a Sith technique.
Leon, you got to bounce.
I do. Unfortunately, I have to bounce. Gonna be on another stream with Moonwalker, but guys. This is amazing. Thank you so much for having me on. I will be here for the full episode when we do part 2 next week. I double booked and didn't mean to. The other booking was 2 months ago, and I apologize.
Good, brother.
But keep talking about how amazing this show is. That way I can watch the replay and maybe have a nice little Sylvia Plath moment with myself later. Thank you guys.
Take care.
Catch you later, bud.
Thanks for joining us, bro.
Catch you later.
Later, Leon.
Yeah. All right, he's gone. We can talk about how much we actually hate this.
Hondo should have stayed. No.
Yeah, I really like how they tie all these episodes together. It
Grumpy
flows
Obi-Wan.
nicely. Yeah,
Grumpy Obi-Wan, he sees his front lie get decimated
by Dirge with jousting.
Lots of different vehicles, lots of different droids.
It's got these big like tribal. It's pretty perfect.
Like I love how the bodies flail. Like everything that he does animation wise is like perfectly done. Like it's just.
I love how the bodies flail. Gooch 2025.
The bodies hit the flail.
Also, this is the first time I think, and now Leon's gone, so he can't indulge me. I think this is one of the first times we saw, aside from the comics, Jedi and clone trooper armor.
Yes,
even in the comics, actually.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, because traditionally, Jedi of this age don't think you should use armor. All you should use is all you have is the Force, and also it inhibits movement a little bit. But you see, they use a little.
That sounds like some Sith propaganda.
It sounds like some commie shit.
Totally against our religion to be able to protect ourselves, guys.
Yeah,
I think under normal circumstances that makes sense, but they're in a
because they're diplomats. But this is a time of war, so yeah.
I love the scene where
ship comes and smashes them all. Let's wear some armor, guys.
This moment is great. He just stabs Dirge in the
lights
chest.
Him up.
Doesn't
Obi-Wan's like, never like gotten so good.
And you're wondering how he's going to be able to combat the lightsaber, and then he just pulls out these deflecting gauntlets. It's amazing.
Which still don't do anything, and he tries to backpedal, but he doesn't have. I guess his jetpack's messed up. Oops.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, so you can see the tentacles.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm watching this, and I knew before they cut to this that the tentacles were going to come back together. I've been playing too much Resident Evil. Yeah.
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 The armor doesn't do anything anyway. Ewoks beat them. No, it's like blaster proof, but rocks and sticks hurt it. Get hit really hard.
Ewoks beat them.
I do love how badass they are. What do you want, Jen?
If you like VR, try getting your hands on the Clone Wars Adventure Comics. There are 10 volumes, I believe, omnibus and an omnibus. Oh God! Right before Christmas, you gotta
engage my addiction.
Damn it! Yeah, like I don't have enough to read. Yes, I do read. Yeah, Obi-Wan. Yeah, I know.
No.
And then we see Dirge come back, and this is
and I love that they just light him up.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
Wait, did that clone trooper have a rocket launcher?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you see him like Carnage here, like he just like way before Venom was like doing
he overclocked it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I'm reading Nazca, the Valley of the Wind. It's like one of the soldiers.
Even these guys coming down, like they shoot the harpoons and they just like slide down. Yeah, and they're like firing upon him, and he just starts pulling the wires, and you just like this, like it's just incredible story. The action in this is just amazing. It's top notch. And I can't get enough of these freaking like red troopers, man. They just
the ARC advanced recon clones. Getting trained by Django, and they've got some of his tricks. Thus, he had the taser dart thing.
They're really good at getting eaten by Sarlacc.
Yeah. And obviously he comes back because like when he's holding like the goop is like sliding
away.
Yeah. He everyone else got done real dirty in the comics. The new and the Clone Wars rather.
Like we've seen like TIE fighter like aerial fights and stuff like that. What did you think of the animation?
It's kind of hard to convey moving really fast and doing all the technical shit that he's doing. I think they did it of using the bigger ships as a backdrop to convey,
how fast they're moving by comparison. I agree. Yeah. I say one of the reasons I like Revenge of the Sith is because of the opening battle. But I felt like this showed a lot more ingenuity when it came to the battle. Like there's a moment where Anakin is being chased by multiple droids, and he does this strategy where he tells his soldiers to fire upon a certain area, and they're like, there's nothing there. tells him to do it, and then when he gets fired upon, he allows the rockets to follow him, and it's just really well choreographed. Like, it's a fantastic sequence.
He does a this is pod racing moment essentially, right? Gets them to follow him and goes
Really,
into
yeah,
the space. Yeah,
That's so sick.
Well, Tartakovsky, like, he knew what he was doing through all this.
Oh,
like,
and it's established, and this goes all the way through, even to when he's Vader, that he has a very close relationship with his clones, like the clones underneath him. They're all extremely loyal to Anakin, because obviously he gets their back. When other Jedi view the clones as a little bit more disposable. But remember, Anakin was a human first. That's one of the good things of being. He got
and
to
the
9,
cult,
a very big
the
heart.
cult didn't
Yeah.
get him as a child.
Exactly. So he actually has all these powers, and he remembers wanting to be a good person. So yeah.
My name is Anakin, and I'm a person.
Yeah, I mean, bro,
We
that
live
has to
in
be
a
the
society,
tragedy. I do. That's such a
a
sick
galactic society.
poster.
I liked her ship. At one point, was she going and then just like lowers her wings and just flips and goes immediately back the other way?
It's like a show-off move to him, and he even reacts like, "What the fuck? No!" Oh, and he clicks that like no normal person should have been able to do that. It's a Force user.
do you remember this? I have an old flashback of me and my friend enjoying.
There was a
the
Clone Wars game.
Cube game. I don't remember.
There's a couple of
that.
them. Yeah, they probably find him on Steam. Tomahawk. He's not here.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Oh dear. So
Yeah.
what's up?
They were like arcades.
Yeah, I don't remember those. I just like Obi-Wan with the cape and the armor and everything. He just looks kick-ass in this. Like,
Yeah.
I wish they would have done more of that.
He's a Chad. Look at him.
Yeah, yeah,
Iron jaw, sharp beard.
yeah. This is the part where he's chasing the Sith, and she's like,
However, this goddamn it, Leon's also not here to argue. This is because, like, yeah, you're right. Like, he is the commander. However, this is one of those things where being a Jedi supersedes being a commander of those Face Forces. That can fall back to your second in command. That's a fucking Force user. That's an untrained Force user. That is a direct connection to the Sith that they have been hunting. He absolutely should have followed, and every Jedi in the vicinity, excluding Obi-Wan, should have been there helping him. But
I agree. If he was by himself, then this is a correct decision to make. But considering his master Obi-Wan told him not to, I don't think he should have disobeyed that.
I
Much better.
don't know. I think I would have gone. I still would have chased after. But that's just me.
The problem is, then he does a flyby like twice on
But this
Obi-Wan,
is-
right?
Yeah.
this is where I would point out that I think Obi-Wan made an. I know he's not knighted. But this is an incorrect decision, I think, from Obi-Wan, compromised by the fact that he doesn't trust Anakin. And I know he doesn't trust Anakin. It's one of those chicken or egg things. He doesn't trust Anakin because Anakin goes off the wall, but Anakin goes off the wall because he never fucking gives him a chance to prove himself. The only way he gets chances is to do it himself. Catch 22, I know. Guess what I'm saying is I'd have chased after that bitch. Force user? I've been hunted for Darth Sidious? Yes.
I like this is not the end. I'm jumping ahead, but just his interaction after this, when Anakin goes and he changes his expression. He's like, "But I won." And I thought that's fucking brilliant. I love that. I love that scene and the setup for it.
Let's go, bitches.
Mhm.
So
It's
you
time
go
for
from that intense aerial cat and mouse fight to a different planet where Mace Windu's at, and then you see this
Different
kid.
art,
Tatooine.
different art style almost with the kid. It feels like his face doesn't look like anyone else's face, really, does it?
Well, he's
Why
an
does he look different
outlier.
to me?
Yeah,
He's the only like human person that we see that's not a Jedi.
But-
So
how awesome is this war though? Like, you're overlooking it. It's like, yeah, it's like little black dots, but you get the vibe of like there's an intense battle happening here. It's God dang it, he's so good. With like this animation style.
I think what Tartakovsky does really well here is he does this thing where he pauses just long enough in these fight sequences that you can actually see the carnage unfold. You don't get none of that like quick cut nonsense you get in modern action scenes. He takes his time, zooms in on the details that bring the battles to life, then zooms out to show the large scale conflict at play.
He likes to have like one side running at the other. Like he loves having those like cavalry style charges, which is just the frame just before this was two sides coming at each other.
Yeah. And Mace Windu, fuck me. Like, I didn't know he was that awesome. Like, I knew he was great, but in this, he's flipping awesome. Like, you really, really appreciate
The reason
Mace
he's
Windu.
second to Yoda.
Yeah, he's one of the only ones like that uses one of the like lightsaber fighting styles or something, right?
I know, but you don't
kinda like
the
unique-ish?
pad,
But you
which
gotta
is
look
you
at
have
it.
to use dark side, sort of.
You got to look at it like you don't really like you don't see it in the films. You don't really unless you play the video games and read the books. Then you get a better a deeper appreciation for Mace Windu. But like when you watch this, you're just like, oh shit, like he is kick ass. Like
He
you're
can see shatter points. He can see weak spots in the Force on people, which can lead him to attack. And yeah, it's a whole thing.
This fight is insane. Like he squashes their heads. He even
Yeah.
there's one really fantastic scene where he dismantles one of the droids, like taking the screws and
uses
each
it.
component out. Amazing.
And then uses those as projectiles and like
Which I love because it's like I love when people throw guns, like when they run out of ammo and they throw a gun. So yeah, using someone's like arm to beat someone else to death, like always.
If you play Jedi Outcast, you start getting real inventive with it, and like you could pick people up with the Force and put them in front of people blasting you with lasers, and then throw them into the people, and like you could really use the Force in some fun ways, and they did that here.
Right here, it's like he could just have like 3 clone troopers, but it's like nah, I want 12.
yeah. I know exactly what you're saying, Erwin. It's just he fills the screen like even here.
right. Yeah, but this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
this scene.
What?
This scene is so good when it finally
Where's
happens.
Waldo? Where's Waldo in this scene?
Yeah, it's like a Looney Tunes moment.
Yeah.
I love his combo powers, the way he uses things. Like he really, it's you get that whole superhero vibe with him. But it's like he just doesn't even need a lightsaber. Really, it's nice to have, but he doesn't really need it because the way he's using his force powers, which we don't really see anywhere else except for this. Like we don't get to see. It'd be so hard to make that in a live action setting. Well, I think it would be hard. I don't know if it would be hard, but because this is where you get to really see him, crushing and force pushing and pulling and running them into each other, and he's really using more of the force than we get to see.
Well,
It's
yeah,
one of
he's
those
using
things where. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nan.
No, you go ahead.
No. I was just saying when Obi-Wan said that the weapon's your life, he's not exactly being accurate.
The force is your true weapon.
Exactly.
Yeah, seeing him punch, using the force punch and stuff like that is something that we don't see in the live action. The extent of what we see in the live action is the force pull, the force push, and the force lightning. We don't get this complexity of combos.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of with Dooku, he force grips in Revenge of the Sith when like Obi-Wan lifts up. But yeah, the most of this stuff, and even that was from Jedi Outcast first before we finally saw it in a movie. It's like, oh look, he lifted off the ground.
And to our earlier point of just how dynamic the enemies and heroes are, like here, I've never seen this ship before. Like it just pounds into the ground and destabilizes the entire battlefield. Phenomenal.
To be fair, I don't think I've seen it again outside of this, but
It looks like they got like a little world eater and like what Dark Empire that looks similar. Like the design is similar. So that's what I thought it was about to start sucking up the Earth, but instead it punches it in a Looney Tune-esque fashion. I love when it shows that wide shot where all the people are just like little scribbles, like they just went like that across the line. Like definitely brings that scale. And we're talking about how Jedi need to be OP because space magic should be OP. But if they're going to be OP, you got to match them with equally OP things, which he does a really good job of. And yeah, thing that comes and just smashes everyone. Yeah.
in a galaxy of trillions, there was only about 10,000 Jedi. Think about that. Yeah, in entirety, the Jedi Order around this time was around 10 to 13,000.
Like less people than like are in most of like the cities we live in.
They're supposed to be fucking OP.
Yes, agreed.
But then they screwed that up in Ahsoka.
Yes, I know.
And yeah. But this part right here where the running, the flash run, I love it.
And like the whole blast, like radius cloud thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, you definitely you feel everything. You're talking, everything has force, and that thing smashing, and then talk about showing force. Yeah, right there.
He's one of the few artists that's able to capture the speed, power, and intensity without turning the whole screen into a blur of explosions and flashing lights. You know, sort of give you a migraine when you're watching anything else.
Very kinetic is his style for this. You can feel the motion, movement. There's weight to the attacks, especially the lightsaber battle.
I was about to bring it. So often it just feels like they've just got a stick, or maybe they're kind of pretend whenever it's the live action. It never feels real.
That shit.
Yeah, it never has any force behind it. But here, the lightsabers definitely have
no
some
pun intended. Force behind it.
I can't stop. Wait, can we discuss the explosion to jump to landing to here is like 2 freaking miles away. Like, and like the OT, like the force jumps like 20 feet. Here he's like 2 miles, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look. And he jumps before it crashes. So he's even farther than where that wreckage is that he jumped from.
You're not honestly proper use of the force. If you concentrate, you can fly. I think. I mean, you're literally just telekinesing yourself. It's how Dooku floats down. Would it look stupid? And I know everyone made fun of. Real quick, this is the beautiful explanation. The lightsaber, the heart of the lightsabers, crystal,
the kyber crystal.
The lightsaber's the heart of the Jedi, the heart of the Force. It all just flows. It's like poetry. It rhymes. No, bro. 10,000.
Is this the first time that we see a lightsaber being put together in either live action or animation?
I didn't know it looked like that.
And because it's been done in comics and games, so it has to be the animation. Yeah. And the technical manuals would show it.
This is a good example of where we're just talking about his battles. There's so much, it's so kinetic, everything's happening. But those chances where occasionally he takes a little bit of breather, he also does the breathers pretty darn well.
Yeah. He's good at his job, this guy.
She got robbed too. She got turned into a traitor and a killer. Fucking horrible.
By who? Felonius?
Yeah.
He's a Sith.
Bro, such character assassination. But otherwise, back before, the whole point, she's very special because she has something called force healing, which not every Jedi has.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is the whole thing with Rey. Yeah, maybe everyone could maybe heal a scratch, but she has a significant amount of Jedi healing. So during the war, she acted as a medic, basically.
Rey's connected to all the Sith badgers, so she's got force healing. Deal with it.
Oh God, why don't bring her up?
Thank you, Joker. I almost looked it up too, but I could have sworn I'd heard that number so many times.
This guy.
I always was confused of why he sort of looks like clones. Like the actor literally does look very similar to because it's not the ones playing clones is not actually Tamora Morrison. It's another actor that looks similar to Tamora Morrison to explain like ever so slight genetic differences or whatever.
All Kiwis look alike, huh?
That's exactly what I said.
And C-3PO is still gray in this. That's what I appreciate too.
Explained in another part.
I felt like that scene captured the silliness of Yoda because he's always serious and dedicated, but like that moment where he's doing the mind trick as well.
Oh, Gooch passed it, but she's sort of like this is because Gooch. Oh, you too. Yoda's sort of an asshole a lot of the times. He's not used to dealing with people outside of the Jedi. So when she's like, "Do you want help?" He's like, "Need your help? I do not." And like sort of hurts her feelings. And then he oh man, I said that a little harshly. He goes, "But I'll let you know if I do." And she, oh okay.
He thought she was being an ableist.
It's the start of his like maybe joke personality that at one day he'll develop. A little bit lighter.
He's a troll, like literally a troll in the original trilogy.
He deals with the Padawans. Lost the planet, Master Obi-Wan. How embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah, look, he's horrified when he realized he hurt her. Yeah. Banging Anakin, you are.
I was never a Yoda fan, so
they should have made him more like Master Roshi, like super horn dog, always hitting on all the female Jedi. Oh, hey, I was looking for an apprentice.
I like Yoda with a lightsaber, but I know.
Yeah, I like him with a lightsaber. Yeah.
Me too, but I think it works in animation better than it did in live action.
Yes.
Just looks so goofy.
From Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith, they lessen the flipping around.
Yeah, like a dang pinball.
I get it, but
as a kid, I loved it. That was probably my favorite part of that one.
Yeah. Padme.
I really appreciate seeing the different planets, the different vibes, like the different environments and creatures.
We got the desert planet, the jungle planet, the forest planet, and the snow planet, and that's about it. Oh, we got the water planet.
Water planet of the Caligari.
The Mon Cal. Oh, sorry, I mean Manon. Oh, sorry, I mean Turns out there's only so many biospheres you can use before you end up getting.
They also
planets.
did like skyscraper, like city planet as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean
the bank planet. We get
Terrace,
space battles as well.
Oh, I mean Munilist. Oh, I mean Cato Nemoidia. Cato Nemoidia is the one that we should see more of. That's the bridge world where we see Plo Koon eat it.
But he does this a couple times. Like
Booty.
like there's a wind flowing through, but even like the cape flies off, like to indicate like how strong the winds are. They did that
Cape
with
no face off. No. Fuck.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's the only one of culture.
100%. The cape also accentuates her cake, which I appreciate.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Did you have any? I got like the slightest girl bossy vibes, but I'm like, it's Leia. She's allowed to be girl
Padme
bossy.
to girl boss me.
Or not Leia Padme, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's supposed to be, yeah.
Because like in the prequels, she just wears lots of makeup, right? And then she pretends to be like an assistant. She's not.
Someone
like,
asked Yoda
to
what
fight?
a woman is. What? Biologist? I am not. Sorry. Here we go.
Here we go.
Best
this is like
encounter.
Easy the best. Like I really enjoyed this. This is where you see him become one with the dark side a little bit here.
Yeah, and also I just like how Vader he gets here as far as like walking
Vadered.
slowly and looking around and creeping
Yeah.
and and the way she uses it too to like like knock them around. Yeah, that's what's up.
Like, yeah, you getting pulled out.
It's Predator vibes.
The shot of her when she's like just one little thing and it like, yeah, that's how you should use the Force.
Yeah. What's her name? Because like a lot of people say
Ventress.
Asajj Ventress.
Okay.
What bald black woman would play her in the live action?
Yeah.
I already said it was one of the Wakandan women.
No, that's 100%. You're right. And
That's
they'll
all
have
they
to
have.
they'll have to put white skin.
Right?
But
Yeah, I mean,
white
she's
face.
black coded. At least that's what they would say.
She is actually. It's how they're starting to draw her now in the last 5 years. That's already happened.
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Why do you say she, Erwin? How do you know?
You see on the chest, you see that little slight diagonal line right here on the
we're about
chest.
to see it. She's wearing chest binders. This is one of the best lightsaber duels. The atmosphere, the fights, the
entrance,
stages.
her entrance into it, like through
the
the
lead
fire.
up to it, because she's taking all of his clone troopers one by one.
Yeah.
All fights should tell a story, and this fight tells a story.
Unbelievable fight.
Yep. Yeah. So much storytelling with just a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Anakin is the superior lightsaber duelist one-on-one, hands down. He's also stronger in the Force, which is why she keeps jumping around and moving.
So when it comes to like using the Force, is he like ultimately the highest graded like Jedi or Force user all time? Or is it?
He has the strongest connection to the Force because he's
Yeah.
the chosen one. But whether he's the more
he
confident
never reaches
fighter.
what it would have been because he gets stopped.
Yeah.
Like Revenge of the Sith happens, but had he not been mangled like that and gone to full peak, he would have been the most powerful. But he's stopped before. But he's definitely one of Luke. I think Luke ultimately becomes more powerful, but that's just because he has more time to mature and develop and shit like that. I love this.
This part where they're using the branches and she's like, every time he goes to use a branch or a vine,
She just cuts it off.
yeah. The engagements
so
between
sick.
the two, like it's almost like a dance. These two,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when Star Wars goes a little like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, like it's awesome shit. Like you're stoked watching this.
While they're in the jungle, while he's a more competent Force user and duelist, like she attacks him with such ferocity that he's sort of on the back end. But once they get here, Anakin turns things up to 11.
As he's been pushed, when the rain starts and it starts sizzling on the lightsabers. The only other time I've seen this again, Jedi Outcast, if you turn your lightsaber on in the rain, you'll hear it fizzle and spark. So sick.
Vex.
Bitch, you can't handle these strong masculine Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I want to force myself into his jungle.
I don't think he said that. Also, she has the high ground. Anakin, be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I don't know. Maybe don't try to do a flip over her when she also has the high ground, idiot. Sorry.
And she has 2 lightsabers.
Landed right in front of him.
But the simple little thing where you see the smoke sizzling from the rain from the saber,
It's
a
awesome.
nice touch. Yeah, it's a nice touch. Like everything
Like
he
the atmosphere. This is where
Yeah.
you want the silence of just the rain. And I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kicks it
some
right
like
off, dude.
Blade Runner rain vibes.
And again, similar to Luke when they're up. This is like remember, but it's like the good type of remember similarities where Luke doesn't move like that and kicks Vader down the stairs.
The action is phenomenal, but I think what makes this work is the rhythm of the animation, the pacing. So Tartakovsky knows when to slow things down, let you take it all in. You've got these slow moments where the characters are just standing, eyes locked in on each other between these two, building tension. Then bam, you get the sudden explosion of action.
And
Hits
the
you like
Duel
a
of
freight
Fates
train.
music that starts.
And this
Oh, yeah.
visual, the Duel of
The
Fates, and then-
lightsaber.
Giant red moon. Yeah, throw him in the back of every fight scene. Sounds good to me.
Fully using the dark side right here. The shot of all his masters feeling it through the force and their horrified reaction to it.
Yeah.
red lightsaber.
Yeah.
It all works. And also showing the power that he's been holding back the whole time. Like him just lifting it up like that. He's ready.
Do you even lift, bro?
And then the scream
True.
and the toss of the, because obviously she's still alive and that's how she keeps her sabers. But dope.
Who is
Wolfman.
this guy?
Yes,
who is
Badger,
this
tell me
guy?
more. Please tell me more.
I remember there was a a poll basically. You could which of the 3 new Jedi would show up in the Clone Wars, and this was voted for. This design.
Got my vote.
Really?
Yep.
Wolfman, right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
he's got a
showing that
saber,
there's
too.
all type of species.
Now, when you get
Roger.
to, oh yeah, this is the part where he talks about how he took out the other Sith, and then they
Yeah.
got called, because they're under attack on another planet from the other Jedi.
I love the
Because-
transition.
Yes.
Could you go back, Gooch? So we go from Obi-Wan and Anakin watching him on their hollow projector thing, and then it cuts
Mhm.
directly to his hollow projector because he's just fallen. Next slide, I think it is.
The next where he's
Yeah, so
fallen.
it goes from them watching this to the next slide, right after this. Continue going. Where we see it from his perspective. We don't see his body. He's dead. Yeah, it goes from this.
And then transponder
next one.
falls, and then they pop up, and yeah.
Okay.
There
There
it
we
is.
go.
And then we see Obi-Wan appear on this.
Cool.
It's the little details like that. Like we don't need to
Mhm.
see how he died, but
Right.
it's implied that he's dead.
Oh, and we were talking earlier about how good he is with transitions and stuff, and that, yeah, fantastic. Oh, this that bit right there, that frame where the background art kind of goes on an angle, but they're just like, screw it, we're animating these going straight across horizontally.
And yes, the obligatory. Everyone called him Shaggy Jedi before. Not him. This is Kiadi Mundi. Shout out.
How many figures are next to you?
I got him. Enough. Enough. Just to show you.
An appropriate
Yeah.
amount for a man my age.
Cerulean is his species, the cone head species.
Like,
Very low birth rate of feminine women, so he has 12 wives. He's allowed to be married and fuck a lot.
I love how they build General Grievous here because they're all running away. You're
Yes.
wondering why they're running away. Then you hear the weight of his footsteps, which is deafening. You're not entirely sure if this is like one of those tanks approaching them, and then out of nowhere it's Grievous, like in all of his splendid glory.
Yes.
And he's
Yeah,
massive
quiet.
in here.
Quiets for like 4 or 5
Shaggy
seconds as
Jedi.
well.
Shaggy. Yeah. This guy.
I don't, we made the jokes back then too. Yes.
How did he make it as a Jedi? Because like his emotions are
Yeah.
all over
His
the map.
name is literally like Shaggy.
Oh
Is
my
it?
god.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
god. Well, everyone in here was like really
remember that.
afraid. And that was my
Yeah.
question. Would they all be this afraid?
So Jedi Council member, one of the highest ranking Jedi Knights, and they're both shitless. Shakti, who I should order because I don't have, is scared. And then that other Jedi, Crook, Kruhk, the one that looks like a bear or whatever the fuck, he's a super hardcore Jedi. And they're all terrified. They're from the comics.
Well, he's a Jedi killer, and his form of combat is a corruption of their martial arts because he uses,
trained by Count Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
But still, even if they were outnumbered and knew they were a little screwed, they would not be showing that on the outside, presumably, right? Wouldn't they be disciplined enough?
They have been fighting for a very long time. It's days. It's testing. It's
Shaggy hasn't had it hit a ball in a while.
He's a Padawan.
He's getting a little on edge.
Together. Yeah, everyone else is pretty put together though, for the most part.
Yeah, they're all scared but composed, except for Shaggy, who just loses his shit at the very start and runs out like an idiot.
He's asking for a Scooby snack. Yeah, this whole time you're hearing that the clanking. It's like almost like Warriors. When they're like, Warriors, come out and play.
Yeah.
Like, that's
good connection.
Yeah, he's like, this is, oh man, Grievous. Like they make him kick ass in this. Because in the movie, they make it look like he's a pussy. He runs away a lot of the time in the movie.
Yeah,
comedy. It's so funny, haha, right?
Yeah,
all these coughing and shit. Yeah, I don't agree with any of that.
Yeah, these
and the music, like, dun 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 dun, like it's super.
Oh my.
Tense.
When he starts right here, he just starts spinning in circles. Reminds me of like the Simpsons.
Bro,
like
how do you fight that many?
I know, but he just uses a normal amount of arms in this, doesn't he? He doesn't even whip out the extra arms. I thought.
No, he doesn't even need to.
I was a little disappointed. I was waiting for him.
Yeah,
Look it out, baby.
Well, he grabs a third lightsaber with his foot when he's facing Ki-Adi-Mundi at the end.
That I did support. His legs. I love how like more chicken, like raptor,
into the roof.
like his legs. Yeah, I love those.
So that killed him, right? Broke his neck, and then he throws him off into the fucking.
Yeah,
he's squashing their brains with his feet. Like he did it to Shaggy at the very start as well. He just drops right on top of him.
Yeah, Edge Runner style. I did like how cutesy they drew her, the Twi'lek or whatever, because it definitely it makes it a little more scary that the little cutesy Jedi is about to go up against this monster.
I forget she's the same species as Ahsoka.
So
wait, they're not
organic.
They're not
Can he wield the Force?
No. I think they suggested that he might have had a slight positive, but even if he did, it wouldn't have mattered because all that's left of him is his brain, like a little bit of his face and some of his internal organs.
So he doesn't have any Force power to defend himself from them just squashing his brain.
No.
Come on.
Togruta, thank you, Star Wars Marvel. Togruta, that's right, from Togruta.
When you consider that, don't you think that all 5 of them should have been able to force push him and pull him and just tear him apart?
Yeah, they should have. And the only thing that we have to headcanon out of that is his overwhelming cybernetic enhancements were able to evade it.
This is where Yoda's.
And by the way, because fucking Dooku says this exact shit to him, he needs fear, intimidation, and surprise on his side. And if any one of those things is missing, he should retreat. And he had all of those on his side. They were tired. They were scared. So they probably didn't have the force of thought or will to. It's enough to make me.
Their mana points were too low to use the Force.
Yeah.
How many Jedi do you reckon he's killed?
It's got to be at least like more than 10, less than 100, but enough that they know about him. There might be numbers. I don't know. You see, if you go by the lightsabers in his cape, he's got like 6 or 7, 80. There you go. Twisted said 80. There you go. That is more than 10, less than 100.
He's killed 80 Jedi.
That's a lot, dude. If there's only 10,000,
yeah,
I do wish it was 69.
0.8%.
If 80 is the actual number, that would be fine. That's a lot, but that's not unheard of.
That's like 1% of their numbers. I know it doesn't sound like much, but that is a lot.
Yeah,
it's enough to get a hardcore,
or something.
Yeah, it's enough to get a hard. That means if you think that 1 or 2 Jedi are in command of each campaign, so on any given planet, if it has a Jedi, that means he's been in quite a few battles.
Yeah,
now
Star
we're all
Wars,
just saying,
like,
I believe it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, 0.8%. So almost 1% of the Jedi he's killed.
That's amazing. So, like in general, like your general thoughts about like where would you rate this out of 10, and your thoughts of the series, and should we have more from Tartakovsky? Obviously, Zaxx, like your thoughts, dude.
Yeah, I was not excited to watch this to get ready for this stream, and that went away after about 10 minutes into the series. It's fantastic, and it's adult. I think it's maybe the most adult of the Star Wars, except for EU, that I've really seen, and it does it with animation, which I think works perfectly. Much easier to tell with animation if you do it properly. There's no limit to what you can do. I was watching, I'm thinking you can have any set you want for these, and none of them are the volume, and I'm enjoying it. And so I think this is awesome. If you haven't watched this, you should. And for me, I remember this being kind of like whatever, and watching it again now, I really appreciate how great this is. And I love the animation style. I love the expressions. All of it works great for me. I don't know if it's good animation or not, like I said, or the movements, but I like the movements. Feel kinetic. You can see emotion in the characters, and for me, that's a win.
By the way, there's at least 23 confirmed Jedi kills just listed through all the canon, and then whatever you want to assume is word of mouth from just offhand battles that happen that you don't really hear written down. So at least 23 confirmed Jedi that he's killed. It's a good amount. It's a good amount.
Erwin, your thoughts? And
I enjoyed it. Don't know if I would recommend it to someone unless they're a big animation or Star Wars fan. Like I said, if I didn't know all this stuff already, I'd be like, what the hell is going on right now? But just the visuals themselves, I definitely definitely enjoyed. Looking forward to the second one. Not sure I'd ever watch them a second time, but definitely glad I'm watching them for a first time.
Yeah, and that's fair. Niet, your thoughts, dude?
Look, if you want Star Wars with a pulse, one that throws you headfirst into the chaos of galactic war with Jedi tearing through drawers like they're confetti, Clone Wars does exactly that, and without hesitation. I think that Genndy I keep pronouncing his surname wrong, but Tartakovsky brings his unmistakable style to the galaxy far, far away, and it's marvelous. Like, his animation is bold, exaggerated, and intensely focused. This is Star Wars at its most primal, pun intended, showing you the raw power and scale of the galaxy without saying too many words. I really loved it.
You sound so professional every time you go on a poster.
If I were rating it for like how I personally liked it compared to like versus it compared to every piece of like media ever, like for what it was, I thought it was really good for what it was.
Badger?
I mean, I love him, obviously. It's got some of my favorite moments. I mean, yeah, I'm biased beyond bias, so.
Yeah, I when you told me about it, I've watched it 4 times already. And I'm probably, I love it. I love everything about it. Is this
fight scenes are
everything about the animation, and it's Tartakovsky. I love his animation style and the way he can pull all aspects of whatever he's animating. He can pull it into emotionally, physically, kinetically, like you said there, Zaxx, and just like this, like the weight of everything is just incredible. I love it, like just because it's Tartakovsky, but like it's Star Wars. Like I'm learning more lore from this than from the movies, except for the OT. So like I'm learning and getting invested in Star Wars. And I never thought I'd ever say that again, but I love what I saw, and I'm like, I need to read more on this and watch more of this because
Disney Star Wars is dead.
Yes,
regular Star Wars is still here for us to enjoy.
I love that. I really love that. Like if you can do that for me, and you guys know me, like I look at everything like at a pretty negative view, and I'd like but I really enjoyed this, and I'll probably watch it again tonight, to be honest, because it's effing great. But
and we have
it's a 10 out of 10.
Volume 2, which I think this is the stronger of the two, but still very strong, and it leads like directly into Revenge of the Sith.
Well, like in the movie, like in Attack of the Clones, I didn't care about the clones at all. It didn't interest me. I wasn't invested in it. I didn't want to, wasn't engaged. I just watched it to go through the motions of Star Wars and see where it was going story wise. This, I I was like, fuck, these clone troopers are awesome. Like they're actually
before
military...
you were like, fuck these clones, and now you're like, fuck these clones.
Yeah.
They slapped some paint on them.
Yeah, like you're like, and then the Jedi, like Mace Windu, I'm like, holy shit! Like,
I got more respect for Mace after this. That's for sure.
Yeah, like
he can jump really... 2 miles, guys.
Yeah,
he made himself like he floated.
Yeah. So yeah. Tartakovsky, you give him a project like you're gonna love it. And that's just my opinion. But
look at Mace Windu's Gooch.
Well, thank you guys for joining me for this one. I was really looking forward to this. It was a great time. Zaxx, you got your stream happening in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're doing night fights. So this is kind of like when you're adults like we are, and you say my dad can beat up your dad, or in this case, it's the Mountain can take out Aragorn, and we're gonna go through some of our favorite knights in fiction and in real life, and have them fight each other and see who wins. And the chat gets to vote, and if you're a member, you get a bonus vote. So for every round, it's an 8 single elimination tournament, and we'll do a part 2 after this. So looking forward to it. Something different, election stuff. Everyone's been I've been sucked into that so hard. Now coming out of it, I want to still see some blood, but I don't need to see any more Kamala.
No.
Me, Gucci Badger, will be on my stream tomorrow for some of our pregame. I'm going to go immediately to go watch the GCA because they're finally monetized, so I got to go put some fun Mo emotes in their chat.
Late
so,
Dave, the GCA.
Yeah,
Yay.
any fans of them, go harass them. I mean, go leave a comment. That's harassing Mo.
And Nia, what you got going on there, bro?
I have like so much work and little projects that I'm doing at the moment, but going to be releasing a video on Heretic tomorrow. Going to be on Arcane tomorrow as well, discussing episode 1 of season 2.
Yep.
Then we've got Alien 3 popping up this Saturday on my podcast, Movie Nights with Nia, and then I'll be on Late Night with the Gooch the day after.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Woo. Yeah. And all these guys will be a late night. So, Badger, what you got going on there, little guy?
The thing that Erwin said earlier, I will be on his channel tomorrow and no other streams. And after I'm on Erwin's stream, I'm going right back to obscurity. Can't wait.
But you have the Badger stand on late night Friday.
Yeah, but no one cares about anything other than the thing you say the next day. They don't even really
Friday, so. Moxie will be on my show and Badgers. People do care about it.
It's a double dose of Moxie because I just can't get enough.
Zaxx is going live soon. He loves me more than Gooch. Thus, I'll let him thinking a chicken sandwich is called a chicken burger. So.
Oh,
thank you.
No, we gotta go. Chicken burger.
We gotta go. Stop.
We gotta go though. Chicken burger though.
As for me, I want to thank the panel for joining me tonight. Everyone in the chat, you guys are effing awesome. I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow night we're doing Arcane season 2, episode 1. So swing on by for that one. We got quite the panel for that one. It's going to be a good show, and that would be pretty much it. So everyone, please take care, and as always,
stay Gucci.
Stay Gucci, everyone. Take care, everyone.